Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a get ready with me, but it's a bit of a special one because all of the products are some favorites by some other creators here, maybe some that you know and love as well. So I reached out and asked some of my friends what their favorite products are, or some of them I just knew by watching their videos and like recent favorites and that sort of thing. But that is how I'm going to be doing my makeup today. So I of course will have all these products and all of my friends listed out in my description box. And before we jump into it, I do want to say there's a sponsor on today's video, and I'm getting to work with Scentbird today, which I'm very excited about. And let's see if you can guess, let's leave it in the comments, if you can guess which creator I'm about to mention for a fragrance favorite. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So I normally start my videos with an outfit of the day. Typically in my get ready with me videos, I am pretty chill, so I just have on my slides and just, you know, we're just very cash. I literally woke up like this, so there we go. I am actually filming this on Memorial Day, so we had like a barbecue happening at my complex, so my friends are all out having a great time, but I've had a very busy day, lots of meetings, lots of calls, a lot of work to do, wanted to get some filming done, but I did run up and grab a few burgers for my dog. So she is eating them in the other room right now because she can eat anything she wants. So she is having some burgers in the other room, but she might join us later. So her chair's in the back if she wants to join us at a later time. But before I jump into all of my face makeup, like I said, this video is in partnership with Scentbird, which I am really excited about. If you're not familiar with Scentbird, they are a fragrance subscription service. They are one that I used myself many years ago when I was first trying to become a fragrance girly. If you catch some of my videos, every once in a while I talk about my desire of becoming a fragrance girly. So I'm really excited to work with them and share a little bit about their service and why I think it's a really cool concept. And one of the fragrances that I have in here, I've seen just the brand mentioned on a whole on one of these creators' channels, and I have seen a couple people now actually recommend one of my favorite scents that I received from Scentbird. Like I said, they are a fragrance subscription service starting at around $17 a month, and you can pick out a fragrance to get sent to you. So how it works, they come in these little bags here, and then you do have your fragrance. And what's really cool about this is that you're getting a smaller size, so you can try it out and see if this is something that you really enjoy. Do you want to buy a full size of it? Because my thing was, when I wanted to become a fragrance girly, I was looking at these full size fragrances for like $100, $200, and I was like, no. So and then also sometimes you're taking a guess, especially if you're ordering online, you're really just guessing. It's taken a lot of years for me to realize what scents I gravitate towards, what notes I gravitate towards. So something like Scentbird can really help, so you can kind of hone in on that without having to put a lot of money up and then having, you know, bottles that are wasted, but you still get a really nice amount of product. So what you can do is you actually can open it up here, and then you can see the bottle inside. You can see that you do get a lot of fragrance in here. I believe these are supposed to be able to last you 30 days, like if you sprayed it every single day for 30 days. Honestly, I think you can get longer out of them personally in my experience with using them in the past. I also think that these are a really cute bottle. They're super easy to be able to put into like a bag, a clutch, I mean your pocket if you wanted to. For example, I am that person that likes to make sure I smell good at all times. So I put my fragrances in my purse, and this is what I carry around. So, you know, it's a pretty small clutch, but you can put that right in there. Or if you want it to be even a little bit less bulky, like I said, you can also remove it and just put this in your purse, and that makes it even smaller too. There are also over 600 brands to choose from on the Scentbird website, so you get to go through and pick what fragrance you want. And again, it's just a great way to be able to try something without committing to a full-size product, not being sure that you love it. And then this way, if you find something you love, you can get a full size. So I'm gonna run through a couple that I have here. So this one is from Deck of Scarlet. This is Not Your Girl. So to read the top notes in here, we have rum, jasmine, cardamom, patchouli, and amber. It says, not unlike most of your memorable adventures, this scent starts off with a shot of rum balanced by a creamy, sensual peach. I love that it also says this adds on an air of mystery. And so what you do also is you twist back and forth for the on off, and then this is where you actually do spray your perfume out. I've always said in my fragrance videos that I don't feel like I'm the absolute best at describing fragrances. This one, I feel like I can really, I like amber. That's something that I go for in a lot of my fragrances, and I feel like I can tell that that one is coming through. To me, I feel like this makes a good balance between a day or a night. Like there's some fragrances that I really like for the day, there's some that I really prefer for the night, there's some that I prefer for like a more elevated night, like if I'm going to like a nice steakhouse in Las Vegas or something, there's a different type of fragrance that I'm going for, but this one I feel like would be good for a day or a night. Another one that I have here, this is the Delina La Rosee from the Parfums de Marly, Paris, if I'm saying any of that correctly. This says a poetic bouquet built of Turkish rose and transparent flowers with an opening of pear and a subtle base of softwood and white musk. So we have the pear, the Turkish rose, the softwood, the white musk, and the vetiver, I believe is this one. This is like your cozy, warm summer scent. It's not cozy and like you're by the fireplace, but it's cozy as in like a warm summer night. That's kind of how I feel with this one. I feel like the pear in here, for whatever reason, I feel like I can get a little bit of those pear notes, which I enjoy. This one I feel like is a little bit stronger than the deck of Scarlet, but it's not too much. This I think would be a good daytime perfume, but I've actually never heard of the brand, so I was excited to be able to try them out. And then the final two that I have are actually from the brand Skylar, so maybe that helps pinpoint which creator I am talking about, and that would be Mae Beauty. Lauren has so many fabulous fragrance videos, okay? Like, I'm not great at describing fragrance. You gotta check out Lauren's videos. She can describe fragrance so well, and I really enjoy watching her fragrance videos. I know that she really likes the brand Skylar. She has some videos like all about this brand. One that I hear a lot mentioned is Fall Cashmere, and I think I've seen Kelly Gooch talk about this one as well. But I do have something coming up from Kelly Gooch. This was like Mae Beauty's portion of this video was on fragrances, okay? It just had to be her. So Fall Cashmere says, it smells like your finest sweater feels, a spicy, sensual experience akin to the elevated comfort of a timeless textile. Enjoy the magic of autumn anytime you crave it. So we have roasted almond, cinnamon bark, and spiced ginger. I don't know why my mind read that as speed ginger, and I was like, wow, I've never heard of such a thing. That's fascinating. This one, I get it. This was my first time trying the Skylar fragrances, and I'm like, oh, okay. And Fall Cashmere that's more of like your cozy autumn vibe, you know? But I also feel like you can wear it anytime. Like, I've been wearing this the last several weeks, even though it's 100 degrees in Las Vegas. I like that it has that little bit of spice to it. This to me, I think, is more of my like nighttime fragrance, what I go for, but I also like that it's not too much. And again, it's not too overpowering, but it's one of those that every time I wear this one, they're like, what is it that you're wearing? Other one that I have is in Vanilla Sky. This has cappuccino, pure vanilla, and caramelized cedar. So it says, adds elements of warmth and comfort to your days with Vanilla Sky. This is a decadent gourmand fragrance with rich vanilla notes and hints of cappuccino using the breakthrough Smell the Taste technology. This technology translates the true taste of cappuccino to our sense of smell and creates meaningful emotional connections to this fragrance. When I read that, I thought that that was very cool, and I also really like vanilla, but not vanilla that is sweet like a cupcake. Like, I still lean more towards the like more spicy scents, I would say. I lean a little bit more towards, I guess, like masculine fragrances as well. Like, I've had some people tell me some of my favorite scents are more considered like men's cologne, and I'm like, cool. I liked that the Vanilla Sky doesn't have like that buttercream type thing, like I'm like walking into a bakery. Still has that hint of more, and I think it's probably the cappuccino coming through on this one, that it just kind of elevates it a little bit more. And this one I think is good for day or night. This one I'm mostly wearing during the day though. And then the Cashmere is the one that I switched to at night. But these recently, I have been wearing these so much because I get it. These are my two favorites. I was gonna say if I had to pick a favorite between vanilla, I think I'm wearing Vanilla Sky more, but I also just spray it during the day. Even when I'm just like here by myself, I like spray, and then at night, I'm not really leaving at night as much anymore these days with things that are going on in my personal situation. I like being home with my dog. But if I am gonna go out like to watch a hockey game, like the Vegas Knights, then I like to put on the Cashmere. So these are my two favorites. So I do have a code with Scentbird, which is March 55. It gets you 55% off your first month, which would mean the fragrance is $8, which I think is incredible. There's also a QR code that I will have in here. You can scan that code and it will take you to the website. And then again, that discount code is March 55. I will also have it linked in my description box. It will take you there through that way. But I'm excited to work with them because I think that this is a cool concept. Like I said, when I was first trying to figure out what it is that I liked in my fragrances, this was a great subscription service for me to be able to do. And they do also come with these cards, so you can see about, this is what I was reading off of with all of them, so it tells you the top notes and a little bit about each of the fragrances too. And then there are also the QR codes on here, so I think that's really handy to have. And again, I like that they're small, they're travel friendly. If you know me, you know that still with a lot of my fragrances that I purchase the travel size and the minis. Love to be able to put them in my clutch, easily take them wherever I want. And I just really enjoy the concept behind Scentbird. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about that. I wanted to bring in Mae Beauty and her love and her knowledge of fragrances to this video as well. But let me know if you have a favorite scent that you are reaching for right now in the comments. And let's move over to the makeup portion. All right, so I am gonna start off actually with an SPF. It is very warm. Like I mentioned, I'm outside a lot. I take a lot of walks. So SPF is obviously very key. And this is one that is new to me, but once I started trying it out, I was like, this is so good. And this is actually a favorite of my friend and my partner, CymbreThinks on Instagram. So Cymbre is who I actually helped plan the Creators and Friends retreat with. If you haven't seen, I have a couple videos up about the influencer retreat that we planned in Charleston, South Carolina that happened at the beginning of May. So all of the creators that I'm mentioning in here are some of the ladies that went on the, I don't have every single person because I didn't have that many categories, but those are everyone that I asked or I reached out to, or you know, just went to their pages or their videos to find out what some of their favorites were. And this one is a favorite of Cymbre's, and Undefined Beauty was actually one of our sponsors on the trip. So they sent along a few of their skincare products. I've also really been enjoying their day serum. I know Heather Austin really enjoys their night serum too, and I'll have more from Heather coming up. But both Cymbre and I are really impressed with their R&R Sun Serum. It's their broad spectrum SPF 50 tinted mineral sunscreen. It is pretty liquidy. And the first time I used it, I just rub it in with my hands. First time I put it on my face, I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. I felt like it was not going to blend into my skin very well, but you can see that it just took me a little bit of time. I just used my fingers. It blends in super easily. I don't feel like you have to use a lot of product either, but even if you do, like the first couple times I used it, I felt like I was using too much, but it still just blends in so quickly. And it just has a more of like that sheer tint. Like it's not too much. You know, I'm still gonna come in and use concealer, but it kind of softens everything a little bit. And I also feel like it gives you a little bit of a glow. This is what I've been wearing since I first started trying it. So for the past couple of weeks here, this is the one that I have been using, and I'm just so impressed with it. I was telling all of my friends about it because I'm like, this is something that I feel like I can put on this. So, like I put on another SPF in the morning right away anyways and reapply for a few hours. But then if I'm going for like a no makeup, this is a perfect start to it because it gives you that tint, gives you that glow, gives you the sun protection, and then you just do a little bit of concealer and powder and it's like, boom, I'm out the door. So I've been really impressed with this one. So because I like that as more of a base product so much, typically when I do the SPF, I'm not also then layering on top a foundation. I'm typically just going for some concealer, like spot concealing, and then a powder. But I really wanted to use this, which is a favorite of my friend Kelly Gooch's, and it is from Sigma Beauty, and it's their color corrector. This thing is so good, and I actually also really wanted to feature it because I just recently hit pan on mine. Yep, there it is. So this is their color corrector duo. I use the shade light to medium, and so you have a little bit of a darker tone here. This is what I typically use to spot conceal on my face, and then we also have a lighter shade, and this is what I use on my under eyes. This thing is magical. We went up to Minneapolis for the launch party for the new mod collection, and this color corrector had like just recently come out before then, and both Kelly and I were like, y'all, this is so good, because we were able to meet the social media team, we were able to meet the founder, like have dinner, And it was just so funny because both Kelly and I were like, this product is so good. I have mentioned this in favorites videos, and clearly it's one that I love and I use so much now that I have hit pan. Like, I'm gonna have to get another one of these because especially for summer where I do a little more like no makeup days and lighter coverage days, this is absolutely perfect for what I'm going for right now. So again, I just add that. I wasn't even really blending out the product, I was just kind of placing it, but it's beautiful. I'm using the BK Beauty and Angie Hot and Flashy brush, the A506. BK Beauty was our main sponsor for the Creators and Friends trip. And I'm just adding this lighter shade to my under eyes. This is just so simple to use. It was funny when I was like making my list of everybody. Again, there was some people that I wanted to reach out to be like, hey, just like remind me like what your favorites were. And Kelly, I was like, the Sex Beauty color corrector duo. I already know. I know. So I really wanted to use this one too, especially because it's like always sitting out, and I was excited that I hit pan on it. So next up for my powder, I saw Heather Austin, my dog just let out the most gigantic snore. She already knows what's coming, and she's like, really, Samantha, you're gonna talk about the Lawless Beauty powder. You haven't talked about this in every single video. My dog is completely over this. Okay, so the Lawless Beauty powder, this is their new perfecting powder. I have the shade light medium. I have been talking about this in all of my videos because it's basically what I wear like what I just showed you with the SPF and the Sigma corrector, and then now the Lawless powder. Like, this is like my summer lineup, and it's fantastic. So I usually use this all over my face because it is a little bit more of a medium coverage, I would say. But I saw Heather also use it on her under eyes, and she used more of a puff to press it in. This one does come with a puff, but I'm not gonna let it fall out of here, and I didn't replace it because I personally love these from Amazon. I know a lot of other influencers do as well. I believe I've seen Jamie or Glam Latte, who was on the Creators and Friends trip. She's posted about these. You can get these on Amazon. They're just these little puffs and they're great. So I'm just gonna kind of tap lightly into the Lawless powder and then press this into my under eyes as well, because I thought it looked really good when Heather did it, and I was like, wait, I usually just use this on my face, which I will still use it on my face too, but on my under eyes, I just kind of press with the puff a little bit more to help with any creasing. Okay, I think that makes the under eyes look really nice as well. And then I take the BK Beauty 105, and then I just tap this over my skin, and the combination of these three products I just think is so beautiful. A lot of times, honestly, like, I still love me a bronzer and blush moment, but if I'm like trying to be in a hurry, or especially if I'm going outside where like I'm gonna have sunglasses on and like, you know, it's gonna be hot, I'm like, I'm not bothering to do a full face of makeup because I just don't need to be all sweaty. But this as a base, it's a great start. And then once I get home, if I'm super sweaty, again, I can just take a little bit more powder, press it in, add on a few more products, boom, we got the day to night makeup going on. For my brows, Leah Janae mentioned the Give Beauty Hella On Point Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. So I have this one. Now, this hasn't been a favorite of mine in the past. The shade that I got is in 2. I think this would be much better if I had it in shade 3, because I do think that it's a little bit too light on me. And sometimes when I think brow pencils are too light, I feel like it takes me a longer time to do my brows. I think because I'm just having to like fill them in a little bit more, if that makes sense. But I also haven't used it in a hot minute, and I was like, let me just go ahead and use this one again. So I'm using the one from Give Beauty off Leah Janae's recommendation. And again, I will have all of the creators that I am chatting about linked in my description box, along with the products. And I will also link my videos on the Creators and Friends trip if you missed them and you have no idea what I'm talking about, because I'm still getting some comments like, wait, what was this? Or I'm getting comments of like, wait, why didn't you go? I planned it, but I didn't go. So again, I can link those videos if you are looking for any more information, or if you're a brand and you're wondering how to get involved, you can always email me and Cymbre. Our email is creatorsfriendsevents@gmail.com. And that will be in the description box as well. Okay, again, I feel like one shade. Honestly, I feel like a half shade. If there was a half shade darker, I feel like that would work really well for me. But I do like more of a thin brow pencil. I like that you can be a little bit more precise because I do have brows. Like, I can understand for people that really don't have a lot already to work with, but like I don't need those super giant brow pencils. I already got a lot of brows. Okay, and then moving over to bronzer, my friend Kelly, or K Bella Beauty, she mentioned the Charlotte Tilbury matte bronzer, and I was like, okay, girl. So I do own this matte bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 103, one of my favorite brushes for bronzer. And then I'm just gonna add this on. I believe I have the shade 2, is that correct? Yes. 2 is my shade in the Charlotte Tilbury. I think this one is a little bit light on me, so I just kind of have to build it up a little bit, but it's really pretty. Charlotte makes great products for the cheeks, I think, because it's very like a your skin but better type of situation. Like even her wands, contour and the blush wands, I think are all really pretty. But Kelly and I feel like have a lot, like I feel like we have a lot in common when it comes to makeup and like our favorite products. And Kelly's someone who we have talked for, she was one of, oh my gosh, when did we did a spring lips collab, like our top favorite lipsticks for spring. And if I didn't have red walls, I had like just painted my red walls. So that was a long time ago. I know a lot of you have been here for a while. You say like you followed me since the red wall days, because my walls in that house, my first house, the office walls were red, and that was really weird in, you know, 2016, 2017 beauty YouTube, where everybody had these like pristine white walls with a candle in the background, and then there was me. There was me with my red walls. I actually do have a first impression in today's video as well. So I asked my friend Amanda, or Makeup Just for Fun, for some favorites, and she mentioned the new Essence blushes. These are their pure nude baked blushes. I just got these sent over to me from Essence in a PR package, which is why I have a couple here. And I was trying to decide which shade I wanted to use, but when I saw her mention these, I was like, I absolutely have to use these because these are so cute. So we have Shimmery Rose. Thinking maybe that might be too late for what I want to go for today. Or we have Rosy Rosewood. Okay, clearly feeling in a rosy mood. Or we have Cool Coral. I think since I gravitated towards 2 rose blushes, I'm going to use the rose one. I think this one looks super stunning. Use the BK Beauty Angie Hot Flashy A507 for this blush. It doesn't have a mirror. I don't know why I was looking like it did. Okay, that's actually pretty pigmented right off the bat. So I'm just going to go into the other cheek and then just kind of blend out here. I mean, I barely had to tap into the blush. When you go into this one, you do not have to load your blush up. I like that it isn't looking too harsh, but wow, these blushes, I mean, Essence is more affordable, which I love that. And this blush, this is gonna last you a long time. And this one is in the shade Rosy Rosewood, but I just knew I had to dig into these once Amanda said that she loved them. So I'm excited to keep trying them out. Oh, that's pretty. Then we're gonna move over to eyeshadow. A little bit of a funny story behind this eyeshadow palette. So I was thinking about my friend Angelica Nikfis, and I was like, I really don't feel like I need to ask Angie what some of her favorites are. Like, I watched all of her videos, I talk to her on a regular basis. Like, I think I have a pretty good idea about Angie, right? And I was like, oh, the Odin's Eye. Like, I thought of Odin's Eye immediately. She's done a collaboration with Odin's Eye in the past, and she had just done videos on the new palettes that Odin's Eye came out with. I was like, I'm gonna do Odin's Eye palette for Angie. So then I started looking in my apartment, because in Angie's video where she talked about the new collection from Odin's Eye, she mentions that her favorite from the 2 is the Stone and Rock palette. And I'm looking, I was like, where's this palette? I'm like, I know I've had it, I know I've seen it. Where is it? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, my girlfriend Ashley took this one. So some of you might know Ashley. She's been in a few of my videos and like on my Instagram and all of that. She came on a cruise actually with myself and Angie and Heather in January. And I went to text Ashley to say, did you take that Oden's Eye palette? And literally the text message that I had right above what I was gonna send her today is a picture of the inside of this palette saying, I'm doing my makeup today with Knights colors. We live in Las Vegas, we're Vegas Golden Knights fans. We are hoping they're going to the Stanley Cup. They got a game after I'm filming this. We are hoping they're going to the Stanley Cup because I'm trying to go to a Stanley Cup playoff game, okay? But it was so funny, so I had to call her and I was like, hey, could I get that palette back? Ashley was a really big help to me when my dog was first diagnosed with cancer and I was in a not a great spot that week. She actually came over and unboxed like all of my PR packages for me because I was like, I just can't do it. And I told Ashley, you can take anything that you want. And it's so funny to me that she took this eyeshadow palette because it has greens in it, and she always makes fun of me for when I wear my green eyeshadow. And I just love that she took a palette. That's one of Angie's favorites too. I was like, you two are too funny. I was like, girl, I'm gonna need that palette back and I might need to borrow it a few more times to make a video and review on it. But I was just in such a, I just wasn't there mentally at all that I really had no idea what she was unboxing, taking, anything. I thought maybe for a minute that my mom took it back to Iowa with her, but it was just at Ashley taking my makeup. So I thought it would be fitting as well for this portion to use the Singe Beauty brushes. This is Angie's makeup line that she just recently launched. So I'm gonna be using her brushes for today's look. I do want to play with some of the greens, like especially Exuberance. I think looks like such a beautiful shadow. So I'm gonna grab this one is not a Singe Beauty. How did I get that wrong? Looking at the handles. I'm gonna use the EO3 going into the Exuberance shade. I'm just gonna start to build that along my crease and outer part of my eye here. Okay, how gorgeous is this green? Loving it, okay. Then I'm going to pick up the EO4, more of the flat shader. And this is where I have trouble. I think I know what I'm doing. I don't. I'm leaning towards either passion or cheerfulness. Passion, cheerfulness. Passion, cheerfulness. Why is this so hard? I think I'm gonna go towards passion. It's a little bit more goldish, which is a Golden Knights color. So that's where we're going for. I'm just trying to help. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of passion and start to tap this down. Ooh, that's so pretty. And I'm just kind of holding more towards the end of the brush. I could also do this with my finger, but I'm gonna do another shade on top as well. Kind of very lightly pressing on here. And then I'm gonna tap my finger into Gleefulness right here. Oh, I am going to tap Gleefulness kind of more like in the center of my eye. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it's giving me a little bit of Green Bay vibes. We're trying to go for hockey versus football, but I think this will still do. This is so pretty. I have talked about loving the Oden's Eye formula for quite some time. I think they make stunning palettes, and this palette is looking so beautiful. I know Ashley wore this the other day in her VGK colors too, because Gleefulness I can tell has been dipped into. So we might just have to become joint owners of this palette. All right, I just added some black liner to my waterline, and then I also used it to tightline. Next, I'm gonna pick up some Cheer, which is this darker matte green, with the EO2 from Singe Beauty. And I'm just going to run this close to my lower lash line. And I'm gonna do essentially the same thing with Dreamland and just kind of blend those together for the lower lash line. I just love me a good green look, the matte green. I wanna see if Ashley can like recreate this look. I should see if this great video idea. I should see if Ashley can recreate this look using this palette. This is an idea. Here we go. because Ashley she's not really into like makeup and eyeshadow and all the different looks and all the different techniques. So I should see if she can do this one, because I still consider myself to be pretty basic, and then I should use this palette and try to create the look that Angie did in her video. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, I would need a glass of wine for that one. This is a great video idea. I'm gonna pitch it. All right, the eye look I think is looking so fun right now. Feeling this, feeling my good ideas. Searching for my mascara, I was trying not to panic. So I saw Beauty Unhyped, or Stephanie. I've seen that she's mentioned the YSL Lash Clash in a few of her Instagram videos. So that is the mascara that I'm using today. I'm really sad because I was excited to meet Stephanie because I was actually introduced to her by the Creators and Friends event. So I was just really looking forward to getting to meet someone new and having that experience. But again, I was not able to go on the trip very last minute. My dog's cancer diagnosis came 48 hours before I was supposed to get on the plane, and initially I was told that I just had days with her, so I stayed back just in case that did happen. We are now on almost a month, so really happy about that. Still have a hard time leaving her. So I'm glad that I'm getting to have all of this time with her, all of this extra time with her for sure. It really means a lot. She's laying in front of me now on the bench that I have in front of our window, just snoring away. But I was excited to, you know, see my friends like Angie, and you know, I just saw Jen Lo's reviews recently when she was in Las Vegas, but it was going to be exciting to see her again. And you know, I saw Heather in January, but was looking forward to that. I was looking forward to seeing people that I haven't met before, like I mentioned, Bella Beauty, like we haven't met in person yet. And then I was excited to meet people that I am newer to and get to know them, like Stephanie and Amanda Z. But we are working on the second Creators and Friends trip, so I will be excited to attend that one for sure. But I actually also really like this YSL mascara. I've been wearing it so much. I don't think it's absolutely transfer proof, which is a pretty important thing to me. So if I'm like going to the pool, I'm not gonna be wearing this because I know that I will like sweat it off. But for just like a night out, or even just like a day out or running errands, I don't have a lot of problems with it moving for, you know, several hours. And I think it gives the lashes some nice volume and also length. This is one that I have been pretty impressed with and using it quite a bit. I can actually tell from using it the last like 3 times maybe that I was like, oh, I think we're about to be done with this mascara. And then I think, oh no, I have a highlighter. So I asked my friend Molly, or Makeup Molly, for some of her favorites, and she mentioned the Rare Beauty highlights. So I'm gonna use the one in the shade Exhilarate. I believe she said the shade Mesmerize, but the one in Exhilarate is the one that I have. And these highlighters are just, I mean, they're just so stunningly beautiful. When I was doing a first impression, I like couldn't quite get over it. I don't wear highlighters a lot these days, but like if I was going to, this is what I'm going to do because it's stunning and it doesn't look like just like the stripe on your skin or like too out there. It just kind of blends and like melts into the skin is what I would say about these. I agree with Molly. I think that these are so stunning. I'm so sad. I was so excited to see Molly. We actually got to go on a trip with each other in November of last year. We were both out in LA for the Amazon Creator Summit and we had such a fun time, okay? Lil Wayne, that's all I'm gonna say. We had such a fun time. All right, and then moving over to lips, I actually had a few creators mention the BK Beauty lipsticks. So I had both Amy from Amy Loves Makeup and also Linda or Glitter Fallout. They both mentioned the BK Beauty lip products. Linda, do I have it written down? What shade? Inner Beauty. And Amy said Grace, but I don't have either of those shades. I have Acceptance and also Passion. So I'm gonna use these lipsticks, but first I'm gonna line my lips with the BK Beauty lip liner in Warm Spice. So I think I'm gonna use Acceptance, and I'm just gonna kind of tap a little bit here. Also tap in with my finger to kind of blend the two, because I don't want it to be too pink with the green lip, but this I think This I think looks, oh, I think that looks good. Okay, so after that, my makeup look is complete, and since I've been sitting here for a couple hours, I'm gonna go ahead and spray myself with the Skylar Cashmere. Is the one that I decided on since I'm gonna watch the hockey game with my friends tonight. So I wanted to go with more of my night fragrance. Mae Beauty has so many great fragrance videos. You must check her out just in general, but also if you love fragrance, she's gonna be a great source of information for you. But this is my final makeup look using some of my favorite creators' favorite products. I will have everything and everyone linked down below, but I think this came out really beautiful. We had some of my favorites in here. We've had some newer favorites. I had some first impressions also. Love the eye look, love the green, love how the lips came out. I think my base makeup is looking so good, especially since my skin has kind of been going through it. I know I haven't been taking care of myself the absolute best since everything has gone on with my dog, but I'm really trying to make sure that I am taking care of myself so I can take care of her the best. But my skin is like, okay girl, like let's get it together now. But we're getting there, we are getting there. I think that this look is beautiful. And again, another thank you to Scentbird for working with me on this video. I will have them linked down below. I will also have my code March55 so you can get 55% off your first month. Definitely let me know if you are going to be trying them out. And another thank you to all the creators that attended the first Creators and Friends trip. And I am really looking forward to planning more in the future and just doing more things for the community, because I love that, and that's what I'm excited to be able to focus some of my attention on. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next one.